All right, Bronco Nation, and welcome in. My name is Chris Van Sickle. This is Blue Turf Talk. I am excited to be joined today by Nick, the founder of the Blue Elevation Group. Nick, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Sam from Sam Talk Sports, who has his own logo now. Atta boy. Let me see it. There you go. It looks good, dude. I like it. I like it a lot.
I said, why pay somebody to do it when I can do it myself?
That Canvas app, who is not paying us for this promo, is pretty good. That's what I use. So.
Yes, it is.
Well, it's been a minute. You guys were on last night, and you guys were awesome. I hope you all check that out. We'll promo that here in a little bit, but it's been a minute, and we've had a couple basketball games, and we got one more huge one. But before we talk about that one coming up in a couple nights, let's go back. Let's talk about the two that were supposed to be the easiest, and one was, and the other wasn't quite as easy as we were all hoping, I think. Let's go back to last Saturday, Fresno State. Sam, what'd you see? They won 66-61, which actually it was closer than that. Shocker.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I think Fresno got rid of the players that were betting on themselves, and the players that were remaining said, "You know what? We're not as bad as what we thought we were." So either that, or they just finally clicked at the end because they just played last night, and I believe they won last night as well. So
they really did get rid of all those players that were trying not to I don't want to grab too many rebounds or score too many points.
Yeah.
Keep it under 2 rebounds.
Well, I mean, you get those kind of allegations, even if they're not true, you got to sit them until you know for sure. And if the team starts doing better, well, now you know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, looking at the box score real fast, Andrew Meadow carried the team really, 22 points. The 3-point, the shooting was pretty awful. 24% 3-point shooting, and then 37% field goal. That's both pretty awful. Obviously, they pulled it out, and that was not one they could have afforded to lose. Obviously, that was really not that great of a team.
That would have been the needle that popped the bubble.
It would have, especially considering Fresno had 7 players total. That's it. They just had 2 on the bench. That's all. So they got through that. Luckily, Nick, what'd you see? What'd you think of that game?
Well, what I saw was Fresno State was a motivated team for sure. It was a little bit too close for me as a fan and many others. We saw a lot of reaction on Bronco Nation updates after the game, saying as such. Some of it was a little bit more criticism than I would say a little bit close, but at this point, it's like, we just need to win, right? Yeah. But that was a little bit scary, and and that would have been to lose against a roster that only has 7 people, that would not have been great for the team or the coaching staff at all. So
I'm fairly certain they put saran wrap on the rims. That's the only explanation.
They were ice cold shooting. Broncos were. That was some pretty. They were getting good looks too. That was unfortunate. All right. I apologize if I cough, viewers. I've been sick. So, you bounce ahead to Tuesday night, and you're looking at an Air Force team that is 4-26 overall. That's not just conference, y'all. That's just everybody. And they actually did play like it. I thought this game was really, and he's had a couple games that you could call his coming out party, but I really thought Pearson Carmichael showed a lot this game by creating his own shot, showing off his own talent. Tyson Degenhart this season, I think he's been so great because he's been so aggressive. And I think that's what we're seeing early on in Pearson Carmichael's career, is that he's always got that. He's got that. I'm going to take this ball and I'm going to go score. Whereas I don't think Tyson Degenhart always quite had that. Pearson had 14 points, tied for the team lead with Andrew Meadow, who is also getting hot. Sam, talk to me about this game. What did you see against Air Force?
I saw a team that did not let up in the second half, which is vital in the net rankings because they take point spread into consideration. And it would have been very easy to pull the brakes or take the foot off the gas and just try and run the clock out like Rice has been known to do, getting the lead and just try and run it out. They kept going. And that's key, especially if they want to play at that next level. They want to be in that Power 5 conference that everybody wants us to be in. You've got to play like they play. You've got to do the things to get yourself noticed like they do to get themselves noticed, especially against lesser opponents. Because if you play lesser opponents down to their level and say, oh, well, a win's a win, you ain't going to amount to a hill of beans in the rankings. And those at-large bids, they'll get less and less the more and more you do it. So whenever we do make that jump to the Pac-12, and if they do retain their Power 5 status, it may not be the first year. They may be like, all right, let's see where we're at. But they're going to need to play like the big boys play if they want to be a big boy program, and that means playing 100% from start to finish, all 4 quarters, all 2 halves, and don't take your foot off the gas. And they didn't do that against Air Force, and I was happy to see it.
And I do think it should be noted, and this happens, maybe you were yelling at TV like I was, but Air Force jumped out to a pretty hot start there. And I do think that it should be, considered when you're playing on the road, sometimes you can feed off the energy of the crowd.
Yeah.
There was no crowd.
No.
There was nobody there. So it's kind of, you have to make your own energy, and maybe they just didn't have that to start. I want to say, I don't have the exact number, but Air Force led by like upwards of 8 points or something. But they fought back and obviously pulled it out. Nick, give me your thoughts on the game. Who would you say was your player of the game? Let's just go with that.
Yeah, the way that it started out is like, oh no, here we go again. It's going to be another Fresno State game, and then you had Tyson Digenhart. He got in foul trouble early.
Mm-hmm.
We were down like 8-2, and that's I was as you were saying, the Air Force came out hot. And I was just thinking, like at the beginning, there's like, all right, the circumstances aren't good. There's no crowd there, and that, they came out, struggling as sometimes they often do. But then Money Meadow came out, and he literally pulled us out of that funk. And just like you're saying, I think that, this game was really a precursor of what's in our future, right? You got Peanut and Money Meadow going out for 14 points, much needed points. And then probably the unsung hero for me is Omar Stanley. He's aggressive, grabbing the boards. He scored 10 points. And we really needed that, down in the paint. He was oversized. He was bigger than their bigs, so
yes.
And he was much more aggressive. So we really needed that, and he came in and he delivered. He also was in some foul trouble too, but his production, but his production really helped. And so to answer your question, I think for me it was Money Meadow because we really needed that spark, and he delivered.
He does that a lot.
He does. He's his 3-point shot when it is on is a thing of beauty. I didn't want to talk about. Have you guys seen how the Air Force Stadium is set up? They have the hockey rink like just on the other side of the basketball court. That seems crazy to me. That's like a high school thing. Have y'all ever seen that?
I haven't.
They have a divider in between, and there's the hockey rink, and then there's the basketball court. That's wild to me. I don't know. Anyways, so 2 solid wins, 2 wins. That's really all that matters. Let's talk about Friday night. This is a massive game. It's at the X, sold out. Good job, Bronco Nation, on that. Now show up. That's the next step. Show up and be loud. Don't sit down. I mean, you can sit down if you have to, but This Colorado State team is really starting to hit their stride. They have a great coach. This Clifford kid, Nike Clifford. I don't want to butcher his first name. He's a heck of a player.
Nick,
is it just Nick? It's just spelled a little different. I got to complicate everything. Dude's averaging 18 points a game. If it wasn't for Dent, he would probably be the shoe-in for the Mountain West Player of the Year, I would think. NBA player here. It's a good team. They always have a good team. Sam, what do you think the keys are on Friday night to win this game for the Broncos?
Hot start.
Yep.
Don't go into a scoring drought. Finish strong. Don't lay your foot off the gas if you get that lead. Scoring droughts have been historically one of Rice teams' downfalls, especially at inopportune times or at key momentum swings. We can't rely on, we beat New Mexico and Utah State, because Colorado State went and put a 17-point beat down on Utah State as well. So I look for it to be a good game. Don't think that just because we had them on the ropes over there in Fort Collins that they're gonna just let us beat them at home. They're gonna come out and they're gonna want to try and do the sweep. Yeah,
and they have, as much, if not more, to play for it than we do,
because they're playing for an outright second place.
Right.
If they lose and we win, I believe that gives us a 3-way tie for second, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe if we win, we will be in the second, because I was told that if we win, we will face the winner of Nevada versus somebody. Fill me in. Who am I missing here?
San Diego State. First round. I don't know.
Round. The path is a lot easier if you win. If you lose, I know you're facing San Diego State, which the Broncos are 0-2 against, and just never seem to quite haven't had their number this season. So, huge game. Nick, give me some of your thoughts on Friday night's game.
Yeah, so Colorado State's trying to do exactly the same thing as Boise State. They're on the, they're playing for their tournament lives as well. They've got, I will say, if they did grab a win on the road in the X, you're looking at their coach probably grabbing the coach of the year for sure. There's gonna be a lot of motivation on both sides. This is gonna be a heck of a game. You got senior night, you got NBA scouts in the building, checking out Colorado State Star. Be great that they'll have eyes on Omar and Al and Tyson as well. But yeah, this is going to be is setting up to be, a clash of some really good Mountain West Conference teams, right? My thing is they got to start out hot, right? None of that scoring drought. That's really what, if they do that, then we're looking at another Nevada game kind of look, or even, part 2 of what we saw in Fort Collins. So I don't think as a Bronco fan, I don't think we want that, that heart check, right?
So I just looked it up. The New Mexico, obviously, they're Mountain West champions with their win. So if Colorado State wins, they'll be the number 2 seed, and we'll be the actually I think we'll drop to a 5th seed because San Diego State swept us, unless San Diego State loses, but I don't think they're going to lose. Utah State, they play Air Force, so I don't see them losing that game. So they're I think we're going to be a 2 or a 3 seed, because we'll be tied with there'll be a 3-way tie between Colorado State, Utah State, and Boise State if we win and Utah State wins. So
And guessing what the tiebreaker there is probably like doing rocket science. So I wouldn't even venture a guess there.
Yeah.
It's probably somewhere deep in
I think it has
bylaws.
to do with head-to-head. Of course, we split with Utah State, and if we beat Colorado State, we'll split with Colorado State.
Right.
Then I think it goes down to like opponents until somebody has the tiebreakers broke. So I haven't gone through all of that yet, so I couldn't tell you. It's a headache whenever I did it for the SEC whenever during football season. I had to do that. Some of these tiebreaker scenarios, it's a headache.
There are some in there where there's a coin toss involved, isn't there?
I like those.
That's pretty wild. That's
what
pretty
was
wild.
it? The South Carolina, and they're I think they got the number 1 seed in the women in their basketball tournament off a coin flip. So
that's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, recapping, just a huge game. I'm really looking. I want this to be Tyson Degenhardt's last hurrah as he leaves Extra Mile. I want him to be aggressive. I want him to drive to the basket, and I want a ton of free throws. This team is shockingly good, a lot better than I remember any Leon Rice teams at the line. And that really bit them not that long ago. I think last season a couple times.
Yeah.
So they get to the line better than anybody in Mountain West. I know that. Get there, make them, and let's get this win on Friday night. So if you have the tickets, make sure you go. If you don't go, give them to somebody that will. So that's our recap.
If you are at the X, and by the time the second commercial break kind of kicks in, if you see any empty spots in the blue area, come on down and get loud next to the court. So it's gonna take the sixth man, and so we want to give Tyson, Al, and Omar that last hurrah, and set them up so that we can grab that last home win for them.
Yep,
absolutely. Moving on to our next subject. This is really exciting. We got Friday night, pumped about the basketball game. And we follow up right immediately with football. Monday is the first spring practice. And I'm going to throw the schedule up here. I don't know how big it is. That's not huge, but hey, we'll deal with it. That is the spring practice schedule for Boise State. I am super pumped and blessed that I get to be there on Monday. I'm going to be trying to get some video to show y'all. Just excited. Spring practice, we're going to see so many new players. I'll throw this up here. I'm not going to keep it up for long because we do plan on doing a podcast Monday night, but I do have the list of newcomers to the team here. This was shared by Boise State. So here's just some of the new guys on the team. Super excited to see these guys. But before then, you can get your fix Saturday morning. Well, today, sorry, my son's coughing. Today, I was able, a huge thank you to Boise State for allowing us to sit down with Zion Washington, the starting safety for our Boise State Broncos. He was so nice, sat down, we talked. That interview is going to drop on Saturday morning, I think we decided, just to give you a little carryover till Monday when you get your full Bronco fix. So be on the lookout for that. Just real quick, just give me like a 30-second preview. Sam, what do you want to see from Boise State spring practice?
I want to see a secondary that can be put on an island and not give anything up.
Well, that is quick, and yes, I agree more. Will that happen? Who knows? But I'm excited to see that. Be on the lookout for that Monday night. Hopefully, we kind of want to get you all your information as quickly as possible. Also, I will post some of the videos on my X from practice. We'll see. I'll save some just for the podcast, so keep y'all hanging there. But be on the lookout for that. Super excited. And then on Saturday, there is a live Boise State game. Nick, what sport is that in?
Yeah, so the softball team has come back into town. Currently, we're hosting the Blue Collar Classic. That's generally the first series when Boise State comes back into town because we live in Boise. And during February, the weather's nasty. So the team goes out on the road to the nice places like Puerto Vallarta. They go to California, Texas, Arizona, and then the lower half of Utah where it's still nice and you got your, palm trees still over there. So they just got back on that brutal road trip. They finished that 15-5, which is pretty impressive. So now they are hosting the Blue Collar Classic. They opened up the classic with Idaho State. They're currently winning that game as we speak. And then Friday and Saturday they're taking on Utah, which will be another good game. Saturday the game is at noon. So if you want to come to our Bronco Roundup and then after that go to the game, it's perfect, man. You come hang out with some fans and then hit the game at 12 o'clock. So excited to have the softball back in town.
Yes, and I did want to share some. I did find some graphics here. This team is playing well. Mm-hmm. Freshman of the week, Kenzie Butt. She was ranked number 8 in the first baseman power ranking. She's a freshman. Is that right?
Yeah. So she's a freshman right now. She is ranked in the top 10 for home runs. I think she's currently 5th in home runs in the nation. I'm forecasting her to hit about 24 this season, which would probably I'm sure it would be at least a freshman record, if not a Boise State record for a season. And then she's also ranked 10th, I believe, in RBIs. And yeah, she's really killing it. She goes by Mac, which is a good slugger nickname, right? So
that is great.
Yeah, so she's swinging it. Like she came in, and I heard that she just put in a lot of work in the off season when she came in to secure that starting first baseman role. And good decision on her, and good decision by Coach Schultz to make that happen because it's paying off and huge.
And not to be overlooked, but then you've got Sydney Groves also playing amazing. And you take into consideration a guy like me who I admit I don't know all that much about the softball team. I'm really trying. I'm gonna be there. Cross my fingers. I don't get sick again before Saturday. The name I know is Sophia Knight. So she's not even been the player of the week. So there's a lot of talent here. Really, I hope you all come out and enjoy these. The softball season goes a lot faster than you might think. You think, oh, I'll skip this one and catch another one. It goes a lot faster. That's what happened to me last season. So make sure to go check that out. And then, Nick, give us a quick recap of what was the Bronco Roundup Saturday morning. Give me those that know about it. Give me a quick recap of that.
Yeah. So what we do is periodically join forces with another board member, Boise State Hall of Fame linebacker Carl Kiever. It's really one of his babies. He loves to get Bronco Nation together. It's to get to know each other and fans as fans. It's also kind of a networking opportunity as well, because what we're doing, with Blue Elevation is, we're putting pride behind Bronco Nation, but we're also connecting with local businesses and ultimately sharing revenue with Boise State. So the Bronco Roundup, it's really fun. Just fans getting together. There's no pressure on you. We're not asking for donations or anything. It's just we just want you there and we want to meet you. And it just solidifies, as a fan base. And it's always a great time. Probably the next one that we have will be right before the spring game. And then we usually have like a dinner, and those are fun too. And we usually give away prizes for those.
Very cool. And I appreciate you bringing that up. I am going to be attending. I'm excited to go and meet some of these folks. Sam, you're not making the trek, I'm guessing.
No.
How long is that drive for you?
Like 23 hours.
Come on, man. No.
Yeah, it's also my son's birthday, so.
Oh, how old?
He'll be 9.
That's awesome. Well, happy
8.
birthday to the little guy.
8 or 9.
8 or 9. Sam,
No,
real quick.
6.
Go ahead.
He'll be 6.
Oh, boy.
My daughter's 8.
There you go. I had to remember my daughter's birthday the other day, and I gave my son's birthday, and I felt like a terrible parent.
Well, I just did the opposite, so.
Did you? Well. Sam, real quick, give us a preview of what's going on with Sam Talk Sports. I see the new logo. I love it. I love what you're doing there. Give me a quick recap of what's going on with Sam Talk Sports.
So wrapping up bracketology, we're getting down into conference championships. So I'll be, in fact, I think we got 3 or 4 of them are already started. I'll be doing a Mountain West Conference preview over there. Mainly because I can't do them all. There's 31 conferences. I'm one guy. I can't preview every conference championship. I'm going to be doing probably bubble watches. I won't be doing a bracketology twice a week, but I'll be doing a full bracket build. But I'll be doing the bubble watches probably twice a week up until Selection Sunday. We may have a post-Selection Sunday NCAA tournament preview, bringing back Jonathan Yates. If you saw our Bronco Nation Live with him, we might be doing that. So be on the lookout for that. Just depends on if everyone's schedule syncs up and we can make it work. But we'll be previewing the NCAA tournament. If that doesn't happen, I'll probably have something on Sam Talk Sports, some kind of short preview or write-up or something. So.
And where do they find Sam Talk Sports?
On Facebook at Sam Talk Sports. I'm working on an X account, so that'll be there eventually. Bringing a social media platform from the ground up takes a lot more work than what the content creators say that it does. But
yeah,
I do have a tax number now.
So attaboy.
Yeah, growing up.
All right, folks, viewers, I appreciate you coming on and watching this, and I hope you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, you're going to be on the lookout for our next podcast on Monday night, hopefully, and then that Zion Washington interview. That's a great interview. He gives some great insight on what the difference between fall camp and spring camp is. You know, a lot of us just think it's just football practice. It's not. There's a little bit more to it. Mm-hmm. So be on the lookout for that. He's a lot of fun. But for now, we'll sign off, and I always go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.